My dear viewers, it is 3 p.m. here in Cairo time for our news bulletin. My name is Aman Mukhtar. I have all the pleasure to be joined with my dear colleague Myrna Ghaznawi. Hello, Myrna.
Hello, Amal, and hello, dear viewers, and welcome to our news bulletin. Starting off with the headlines. President Sisi attends celebration marking 73rd anniversary of Police Day. Prime Minister Madbouli meets Qatari counterpart in Davos, stresses a joint work to maintain Gaza ceasefire implementation. And Russia says it sees window of opportunity to negotiate with Trump administration over Ukraine.
Welcome back. The news in detail. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi asserted that Egypt lives in peace and security during the sacrifices of its martyrs and wounded people. Attending the celebration marking the 73rd Police Day at Police Academy headquarters in the new administrative capital on Wednesday, President al-Sisi vowed that Egypt would not forget any family which presents a martyr for the nation. He also stressed that the Egyptian state is taking the right track despite challenges, saying that the society should be fully aware of the persisting problems in the region. Those were injured in the Suez Canal area as they sought to maintain the safety of the nation.
Also, ahead of the Police Day celebrations, President Sisi took a central position for a memorial picture with Interior Minister Major General Mahmoud Tawfiq, along with members of the Higher Council for Police Forces.
At the start of the Police Day celebrations, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi laid a wreath at Police Martyrs Memorial. The head of state further honored families of police martyrs and bestowed the State Merit of Honor for the names of some martyrs in appreciation to their precious sacrifices for the sake of the nation. The President further bestowed the merits of honor to the number of police officers in appreciation to their performances.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said Egypt, Qatar and the U.S. would continue coordination and joint work to maintain the achievements of the Gaza ceasefire deal and to implement its provisions. This came at a meeting the Prime Minister held with Qatari counterpart Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdurrahman al-Thani in Davos, where he participates in for a second day in the World Economic Forum on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Prime Minister Madbouli also stressed the importance of the building on the momentum gained in bilateral Egyptian-Qatari relations in the recent period, mainly in economic cooperation.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Expatriate Affairs, Badr Abdelghati, on Wednesday said Egypt looks forward to holding the 19th session of the Joint Egyptian-Serbian Economic Committee in Cairo later this year. Meeting with Serbia's Prime Minister during a visit to Belgrade, the top diplomat hailed the signing of a free trade agreement between Egypt and Serbia in July 2024. The Foreign Minister also reviewed the potentials of enhancing mutual investments between the two countries and the possibility of launching three-party cooperation in Africa.
During the visit to Belgrade, Foreign Minister Abdelghati also met with Serbia's Minister of Labor and hailed the upward curve in the bilateral relations between Egypt and Serbia. Abdelghati pointed out to the importance of enhancing cooperation in all sectors, notably in development of labor resources. He said Egypt is committed to boosting the partnership with the Balkan nation with the aim of achieving mutual benefits.
Israeli occupation forces on Wednesday continued for the third day a ground incursion into the north and west bank city of Jenin, intensifying siege on city's entrances amid continuous shooting and explosions. The occupation army also has bulldozed all the roads leading to the Jenin camp and the Jenin governmental hospital. On Tuesday, 10 Palestinians were killed, 40 others were wounded, and 20 detained in Jenin by Israeli forces. Israeli occupation troops or settlers have killed at least 848 Palestinians in the West Bank since the Gaza war began in 2023.
The municipalities in the Gaza Strip continued clearing the rubble from roads while workers repaired pipes and infrastructure to restore running water to neighborhoods as Gaza truce held for a fourth day. 15 months of Israeli war of aggression have left Gaza a wasteland of rubble, bombed out buildings and makeshift encampments housing hundreds of thousands of displaced people. Ismail Thawabta, director of the government media office, said the government is trying to prevent any kind of security vacuum and to provide services to citizens. Under the terms of the ceasefire, Israel must withdraw its troops from central Gaza and permit the return of Palestinians to the north during an initial 6-week phase in which tens of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners will be released.
Meanwhile, the humanitarian aid trucks continued conveying shipments of aid to the Gaza Strip across the border crossing of Karam Abu Salim and Aqeja in Rafah area. These shipments are provided under the ceasefire deal in Gaza. Mohamed Hadi, the top UN aid official for Gaza and the West Bank, said that nearly 900 humanitarian aid trucks entered the Gaza Strip on Tuesday, the third day of the ceasefire. The latest arrivals bring the 3-day total to more than 2,400 trucks entering the besieged Palestinian enclave. Hadi also added that the aid operation faced logistical problems because the road network within Gaza was destroyed.
Southeast Asian bloc ASEAN welcomed on Wednesday a ceasefire in Gaza and called for its full implementation and release of all hostages and detainees. In a statement, the bloc's chair, Malaysia, called for a full, safe, rapid and unhindered delivery of humanitarian assistance for the Palestinians. Starting from the 16th day of the ceasefire, the two sides should negotiate a second phase, expected to include a permanent ceasefire and the complete withdrawal of Israeli troops.
Syrian official news agency Sana'a reported that the security forces have launched a sweep of Syria's central Homs province against the remaining militias supporting ousted President Bashar al-Assad. The agency said an arms depot and munitions belonging to the ousted regime were found in western Homs, reporting that violent clashes had broken out. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights and 6 people had been killed in the villages, which lies close to the border with Lebanon.
Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said on Wednesday that Moscow sees a small window of opportunity to forge agreements with the new U.S. administration of President Donald Trump. Trump, who took office on Monday, has said he could end the war in Ukraine swiftly. He warned on Tuesday that he would likely impose more sanctions on Russia if President Vladimir Putin refused to negotiate to end the nearly 3-year-old conflict. Russia is already under significant Western sanctions over its invasion of Ukraine in February 2022.
Years ago, he was actually on my side. And then one day, when you
Russia said on Wednesday that it had taken control of a new village in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region in westward Push. The Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement that its forces had taken the village of Zapodon on the western bank of the Oskil River. The village for a long time formed the front line between the armies as Russian troops advanced rapidly in eastern Ukraine.
Turkey has detained 9 people, including the owner of the hotel, in connection with a deadly fire that claimed the lives of 76 people and injured dozens at a ski resort in western Turkey. The Turkish Interior Minister said on Wednesday the bodies of 45 victims had been handed over to their families, while DNA tests were being conducted to identify the remaining bodies at the Forsyth Institute. In a statement, the minister expressed a deep sorrow and pledged full cooperation with the investigation. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan declared Wednesday a day of national mourning following the tragedy.
Now with the economy news, as Minister of Planning and International Cooperation, Rania Al-Mashat today took part in a debate session on restoring financial stability as part of her activities in 2025 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The minister pointed out that the sustainable economic growth could be achieved through many factors, the most prominent of which is the stability of the wholesale economy, financial flexibility, policies encouraging to investments and structural reforms. She also noted that such factors could boost the state's capabilities to face rapid changes and enable them to increase the participation of private sector and accelerate the pace of transition to green economy.
Egypt's bourse opened in green today amid local investor purchases against Arab and foreign investor sell-offs. The market capital of listed companies added 22 billion Egyptian pounds, so far exceeding 2.2 trillion pounds. The benchmark index EGX 30 rose 0.6% above the 30,000 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 1% and 0.9% respectively.
And China vowed today to defend its national interests against tariff threats from U.S. President Donald Trump after warning that he could impose a 10% duty on imports from the country by the end of next week. Trump, speaking to reporters at the White House a day after his inauguration, also warned the European Union it could face stiff levies while taking aim once again at Beijing over trafficking. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman said that Beijing was willing to maintain communication with the United States, properly handle differences, expand mutually beneficial cooperation, and promote the stable, healthy, and sustainable development to China-U.S. relations.
Moving to the world of sports, where Egypt's national team play against Iceland in the main round of the 2025 IHF Men's Handball World Championship. Egypt is placed in Group D in the main round along with Iceland, Croatia, Argentina, Slovenia and Cape Verde. The top 2 teams of the group will directly qualify for the quarterfinals. In the preliminary round, Egypt topped Group H on 6 points ahead of runners-up Croatia on 4 points, Argentina on 2 points, and pointless Bahrain. The tournament is co-hosted by Croatia, Denmark and Norway from January 14th till February the 2nd. Well, dear viewers, by this we come to the end of our news bulletin. You were in the company of myself, Mirna Ghaznawi, along with my dearest colleague, Amal Mukhtar. Thank you, Amal.
Thank you, Mirna. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following us.